Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CityStreetsMe.com. We are here with Mr. Brian Butler, the football guru, putting it down on the beautiful west side of Wichita, Kansas. Mr. Brian Butler, thank you for having us in your home.
Hey, it's all good, man.
I appreciate that. You got a nice home, too. You want to trade homes or something, brother?
I don't know if you want it. Never judge a book by its cover. If you want the bills to come with it, then feel free.
Right on.
How long I'm going to be in it.
Right on. Mr. Butler, for those that don't know you or know what you do about your business, tell the people about yourself.
Well, basically, about myself, I'm a 37-year-old male man, born and raised in Wichita, Kansas, and I train athletes for a living. All kind of athletes. You know, I know you mentioned football in the announcement or in his introduction, but truthfully, you know, I train soccer athletes, softball athletes, basketball athletes. It's pretty versatile at this time, and then I also help guys, you know, with their recruiting, which is mostly all football, moving into some softball as well, and then I have a nonprofit organization called Potential Players, and we just help, you know, try to educate families, young men, women on the process, really, man, of just recruiting and education and academic excellence and success on and off the field.
Right on, right on. So tell me about, let's explore a little bit about how you got the drive. Where did the passion come to do what you're doing, to create what you're doing?
You know, that was really spirit-led, I would say. I mean, you know, I guess it's a biology or
right.
Chemical makeup. In the end, though, I received the passion just from my experience and my family's experiences. I coached here in Wichita for 7 years, high school football. You know, born and raised and played here. Played college football at the D2 level, at the JUCO level. Got a scholarship at the D1 AA level as well, so got a little experience in those. But the passion came really after seeing myself and others' experiences, as well as my little brother's experiences, really seeing that families needed to have more involvement when it came to the recruiting process as a whole.
Right.
And also from a training perspective, young men and women needed to work a little harder to achieve the big dreams that they had.
Right.
So a lot of people wanted to say they want to go to the league, but they don't know the amount of work that it takes to go.
Right on.
And me never being to the league, I know that the reason why was because I didn't want to put in the extra work that it took to get there. But I try to use my failures or lack of success for others to achieve their dreams.
Right on. Right on with that. You know, I got a young player out there, sitting out there right now. You know what I'm saying? You talked about, you know, maybe they don't have the drive. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about what it takes to really get to the next level for my young players sitting out there. What do they need to do? What are they missing?
They're missing I think fighting their fears, man, of fatigue. Basically, you got to go through I look at my training not as just physical training, but really mental training, and breaking through their mental barriers that they've closed off a door that they think they can only go this far because they get tired or they feel like they're about to throw up and they think it ends there, but really that's just the beginning. And so it's really the thing I think they're missing is just that extra push, that extra motivation, and also I think sometimes we as parents or even as coaches or trainers or you know, whatever, leaders, don't set the bar high enough.
Right.
You know, I think the bar sometimes is set very low here in Wichita, and that's not a hard bar to reach over. So, you know, I think the bar sometimes is set too low, and so I set the bar pretty high. I told my girls, you know, my 6th grade girl basketball team, I told them I want to be the person who expects the most out of you than anyone ever has.
Right.
And so, you know, parents sometimes can't play that bad guy role to where, you know, that they want to keep it at a realistic view. But in the end, I want to push these young people to go above and beyond even what they think in their mind that they can.
Right on, right on. Hey, let me tell you something. I coached for a little while.
Yeah.
I got that bad roll down. That bad guy, boy. Hey, you can ask him about it. Now, so before off camera, we was talking about. Tell me about the nonprofit work you do. Tell me about that.
Well, really, man, Potential Players Foundation. My whole business all started as nonprofit from the beginning. I just saw a need and wanted to fulfill it. A lot of people talked about what the community needed and what these young players needed, and I heard it for years, but I sit back and watch and nobody ever did anything, and it just continued to be a cycle of failures and stories of failure and stories of big time players who never made it out of high school, who never made it out of junior college, or who ended up in the county or end up in the pen.
Right.
And I just got tired of it, man, and got tired of people talking, and decided to just go ahead and try to get it done. And so with my nonprofit, now it's just focusing on, like, we have seminars, we have a camp. I got some NFL players coming on July 7th. Got like 8 guys coming in, and they're gonna donate their time to participate in the camp and developing young people's skills, and doing a seminar with parents of my college, a lot of my college guys who came out of my organization. Just really, I like to network people together, man, and let them touch something real. Not just hear it from me, but they want to hear it from the players. They want to hear it from the parents, who I really like to reach out to, because they're the ones who are running everything.
Right.
Most young people don't have cars and don't have money to pay my fee. So in the end, the parents are the ones that are responsible. So I want to educate them and get them in touch with the other parents to say, okay, here's actually what it takes. Here's actually what I did. Here was my experience, and instead of hearing it from me.
Right.
So that's my goal with the nonprofit, is to connect parents and players to other parents and players to get that education, and to give them something that they can actually feel.
Right.
Something they can touch and make it more realistic, for them.
Right on. Now you encompass a diverse area of athletes.
Yes.
So all the athletes in any sport that or all of them combined, whatever. Tell me about what do you think is the biggest pitfall for the young athletes that what I'm saying, that they get caught up in, that they need to stay away from even if they're not going to the next level, but just as an athlete, what do they need to stay away from?
Well, in my experience, I'm not gonna. All I can give you is my experience and what I've seen.
Right.
And what I've seen is one of the biggest causes is the lack of God. Truthfully, is the main thing they need, because first off, they need to depend on something other than themselves.
Right.
And realizing that they're that it's really not them that they need to depend on. That's the first thing, first and foremost, and really that encompasses it all, truthfully, because if they were really to depend on Him, then they will find a way not to depend upon themselves.
Right.
And when you're looking and dependent upon yourself, you're willing to try everything to get it done, and then to one day you realize you can't do it yourself.
Right.
And so that's the one thing I see. Even more of to break it down a level, I would say for most male athletes, I've seen relationships and just jumping the gun. When it comes to a male and female relationship, seeing that as being a pitfall, because they're trying to bite off more than they can chew. Right. When it comes to when you're young, it's not about trying to act like you're a husband and wife with some 16, 15-year-old female or 17-year-old female that has a lot of growing to do. And if you don't know yourself, you really don't need to be worried about trying to bring anyone else into your life.
Right.
But so that's really the main pitfall that I've seen.
Right.
Is young people jumping the gun when it comes to relationships, and instead of handling their business first before they're able to bring someone else into their world.
Right on, right on. I know. I won't keep you long, but I want to ask you this, and I know it's probably not a fair question to ask you, but looking back on your career with what you've done, tell me a moment that whether it's with the kids or it's maybe even with what you've done in sports, give me one moment that just has etched into your soul and just sticks out to you.
It's really been two recent ones. Because first off, hard work pays off. And that's my theory. HWPO, I put it on everything, and so a lot of that takes time, and I use my experiences as a player and as a coach to, I figure all that was built up for something, whether it's good or bad, it was built up for something, and two recent ones, one, obviously, the one that most people would first off say, and which I did feel a lot of joy, is when Bryce Brown got drafted this year, and he went through a lot of struggles throughout his college career, throughout his, a lot of media criticism throughout his high school and college career, but still overcoming those challenges, which is what it's all about, right. Is overcoming challenges to achieve your goals. And he achieved his goals of being drafted and just being a part of that, and knowing that, I helped and assisted in that process, was definitely a phenomenal day, and I was very, very excited. And the other thing that I would say that really goes hand in hand, and I really might even give this the edge. I've just been coaching this team and this girls basketball team recently, and seeing their development in a short time, and watching them learn how to compete from being raw athletes who, because a lot of people say, well, Bryce, when you start training him, he was in 8th grade, he was already a great athlete. Right. Well, I know dealing with these young girls that I have now, would nobody consider them great at anything. And watching their development, and watching them turn and compete and learn, and just seeing them use what they've been coached to do. Anytime I see obedience, I'm excited. And truthfully, that's my drive to train every day, is teaching someone something and watching them do it, and then watching them succeed from what was taught to them, and knowing that I played a part in that. So that's what I would say would stick out the most.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Go ahead. Before we get out of here, who's gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
Oh man, I got to ride with Philly now, man.
Oh, okay. I forgot. That's what Bryce went. Okay.
I used to be a Cowboys fan.
Oh, see, no, stay with the Eagles thing. I'm a Niner fan. I can't do the Cowboy thing. I can't do that. So let me ask you, the offensive defense side.
Where
you offensive man or defensive man?
I'm really a defensive man.
Okay.
Defense wins championships. From what I've learned now as a player, I played a fullback, so and when I coached running backs and linebackers. So I'm a little bit of both, but I enjoy defense more than offense. I like it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this. You're at the Super Bowl. Okay. It's fourth and goal. Okay. Ball across the plane. Your team lose. You get one middle linebacker throughout the entire history of the NFL. Who you sticking in the middle?
I'm going with Arthur Brown Jr. He ain't even in the NFL yet.
I heard you get it in. I get it in.
But for someone that's been in the NFL, I'll probably go with Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus.
Yeah, I got to go. Like I said, I'm a hitter, man. I believe in heart. Ray. Ray he be up there, but I'm old school.
Right on.
And I play old school, and I coach old school, and train old school. And Dick Butkus is definitely old school, and I think he's gonna do everything possible not to let somebody get in on that that last inch. So that's what I ride with.
Right on. I know my cameraman back there. He's a Ray Lewis guy, so that's why. Yeah, you see that look on his face.
Ray would be right up there in the choices. He probably would be my number 2 pick, and I can see the competitive desire between him and Butkus, and I bet you talk to Ray. I bet he ride with Butkus on a couple instances too.
Right on. Before we get out of here, tell the people how to get in touch with you as far as the training side of it, the nonprofit side of it, website. How do people get a hold of you?
Okay, well, you can go to potentialplayers.com. I try to have it, everything encompassed in that site to where you could learn more about the training. You can be able to contact me with the information there.